All right. So thank you very much. My name is Jeremiah Kendagor. I'm sure all of you know me, but since I'm not on camera, I think I can introduce myself yet again. So thank you so much, everyone who is here. Kindly let everyone who is not on this call to be on this call, because this call is one of the most powerful calls that we are yet to have. All right, especially with respect to the project that we are having, BUSD, that we are currently running. And in the next few days, we will experience a great move. And if we can learn and understand, especially what we are going to talk about tonight, that will form part of the basis of what we are doing. So I want to share this strategy. I don't know what we will call this particular strategy, but let me talk about the content of this particular strategy that I want to share with us today. So the objectives of this particular strategy, or rather the content that I'm going to talk about, of course, is to talk about the objectives and the prerequisites that one requires to be able to implement this particular strategy. I will also talk about the strategy itself, how it works. Then I'll talk about the implementation of the strategy. And then I'll talk about the most important step on the whole strategy. Then I'll talk about now the announcement that we want to make tonight. And that is the launch of a promotion that we are going to run for the next 2 weeks. But I know I get ahead of myself. So it's gonna involve awards and achievement rewards that we are going to be talking about. And of course, the promotion period. So of course, you know that whenever there is a promotion, it has a period that it will run through. All right. So what are the objectives of this specific strategy that I just want to mention right now? And of course, the simplest one is that you want to earn money faster with Forsage. All right. So if you want to earn money faster with Forsage, kindly type in on the chat 2222. If you want to earn money faster with Forsage starting tonight, type in 222 on the chat. All right. I can see there's only one person. That's Florence Wanyonyi, Anne Thomas, Lucy Kibathi, and Debu Amiku. Yes, I can see you. Blessed Joy, I can see you right there. The rest of us, you don't want to make money. You don't want to earn faster. All right. Nyambura Maina, there you are. Ruth is there. Margaret, Karanja, and so on. So thank you so much. Yes. So if you want to earn faster, you need to understand how this particular strategy works. And then the next point is you want to help your team to both earn faster and to grow faster. All right. You want to help your team to grow faster and to earn faster. The second point is that you want to help your team to purchase. Actually, this is now the nitty-gritty point. All right. To help your team to purchase higher slots at a fraction of the cost. Can you imagine that we have a strategy that we can put in place and people can actually upgrade to higher levels, okay, without spending the whole amount, the 100% that requires for any slot. You can spend even less than 20%, all right, of the cost of the next slot. Now, that is the most powerful thing about this particular strategy. Then your team members can now focus on building the team rather than how to raise money to go to the next slot. Now, that is the most powerful thing about this particular strategy. So all of us now can focus on building the teams and not necessarily just focusing on where do I get the money to move to the next slot. So we make this, the moving to the next slot much easier for everyone within our teams. So that is also critical why this strategy really works. And of course, the other thing is to enhance teamwork for faster results. You know that, of course, as we work as a team, we will achieve better results, faster results together. So those are the main objectives of this particular strategy. So you really need to understand that the strategy is targeted for us to be able to help our teams acquire higher slots, more expensive slots at a fraction of the cost of those particular slots. Now, what are the prerequisites of this? Again, just to mention, with this particular strategy, you can acquire a higher slot for as little as 50% or 33% or 25% or even 20% or even less, depending on how you apply this specific strategy. Now, the only thing that I need to mention about this particular strategy is that you need to have a team already, all right? You need to have a team. And the team needs to be a minimum of 2 people direct to yourself. And those 2 also, you need to also have 2 people deep into, the second level. So you need to have the first level minimum, at least 2 people that you have signed up, all right? Either you or that you and your sponsor have been able to help you to build, but you need to have 2 minimum, 2 direct minimum and 2 levels deep, all right? So like in this particular scenario here, you are talking about A1 and A2, and then 2 levels down, you need to have another set on the second level. That is B1 and B2 minimum, all right? Now, so those are the prerequisites. Ideally, if you have 5 people direct and 5 people deep, that is the best ideal scenario. So the best ideal, of course, is 5 wide and 5 deep. But of course, we know that is something that that may not happen overnight. Even me, I don't have 5 people wide and I don't have 5 people deep. All right. So the 5 people wide, 5 people deep, that is an ideal scenario that if you can have, it will work even better. All right. So if you are here and you have A1, A2, A3, A4, and A5 direct to yourself, and then A1 and A2, all these people also have people below them who have people below them, 5 people deep. That is now what we are talking about. All right. Now, when you have done that, you need to identify what we refer to as your power lake. All right. You need to identify what is your power lake. Your power lake is now the team that is going to help you to move to move. So in the case for example of this 2 by 2, your power lake will be A1 and B1. And for the case of this other scenario here, it will be A1, B1, C1, D1, and E1. All right. So you identify who these ones are. Now, they all need to be at the same level on X3. All right. So we are talking about a scenario where A1 and B1 need to be on the same level on X3. And by the way, this particular strategy works on X3. And as you make money on X3, now you are able to upgrade on X4 and so on and so forth. So A1 needs to be on the same level as B1. The same thing applies to this other line here. A1, B1, C1, D1, and E1 need to be on the same, at the same level, okay, on X3. Now, that is important to understand. Now, you need to be 1 level higher than any one of these, all right? So A1, B1 would be, say, at level 7, and you would be at level 8, or whichever case it is. That, like, for example, if A1 is at level 5, you are at level 6. Now, that is how now the strategy will work. So now, how do you implement this strategy? So the first thing, of course, is that you have identified your power leg. If you have 2 deep, so your power leg is A1 and B1. And now what happens is that B1 and A1 will contribute only 50% of what they need to move to the next level. So if we are talking, for example, about you are at level 8 and A1 and B1 are at level 7, then B1 and A1 will contribute only half of what they need to move to the next level. All right. And if it is in the case of this one here, which is A1, B1, C1, D1, and E1, they will, I mean, maybe I'm just giving the example here, A1, B1, and C1. That is, if you have 3, they will contribute 33% or thereabout. If it is up to D1, it's 25%. But if it's up to E, it is 20%. And if it's even longer, if that particular line is even longer, then all of them will contribute much, much less. All right. Now, of course, the challenge, I mean, and what I alluded to in the previous discussion is that what I alluded to in the previous whatever is that sometimes maybe one of these people will say, no, I don't want to move to the next level, but the motivation of why it will apply for everyone is because they are able to move to a higher slot at much, much cheaper cost. All right, much cheaper cost. Can you imagine that you will only need to spend 20% or 25% or 33% or 50% only in order to move to the next level? So that is the motivation about why everyone will, this particular strategy will actually work for the whole team. So if more, of course, that is, you have a bigger, longer team, deeper, they will contribute even less. So now the actual operation or the implementation of this particular strategy, how do you do it? Now, ideally, all the team members, that is A1, B1, and so on, A1, B1, all these guys plus yourself need to be in one place at the time of the implementation of that particular strategy. So you all need to be in one place, and all the team members, that is A1, B1, will have the money, or rather that contribution that they are making to move to the next level already in their wallets. So now you meet together. So ideally, of course, you can meet in a specific place physically. That's the best. But of course, if logistical issues are a challenge, you can actually do a Zoom meeting. All right. Then each one of those members now contributes they make their contribution, whether it's 20%, whether it's 25%, or whatever case it may be, they contribute that money to A. So in this particular scenario here, B contributes 50%, and A1 already has the remainder 50%. So you will have 100% to move to the next level. Now, in this other scenario, E1 sends the 25%, B1 also sends 25%, C1 sends 25%, B1 sends 25%. Now A will have 100% of what he needs to move to the next level. Then in the next level is that A1 now upgrades to the next level. And when they upgrade, and that is in X3, the money goes to you, comes to you. Now, what you will do is to send the money to the next person below A1. So in this case, B1, all right? So you send the money to B1, who then now upgrades, and the money goes to A1. then that process is repeated. Like, for example, in the case of this long line here, A1 will now send that money to C1, who upgrades. When he upgrades, the money goes to B1. And when B1 gets the money, sends it to D1. D1 upgrades, the money goes to C1. C1 sends the money to E1, who upgrades, the money goes to D1. So at this point, at the final analysis, the money in this particular case will be with D1. But with this particular case, the money is with A1. So now you go to the most important step, okay, which is now the most important step that needs to be implemented. And that's why I'm calling it the most important, and that's the critical point. So finally now, A, in this case, will now send the whole of that money to you, all right? And in this case, D1, who now has that money, will send it all the way to you, all right? So that is the final point that can be done. So now what you will do, now that you have sorted A1, B1, and so on, now you come and implement that strategy on your next team. Remember, you had a minimum of 2 teams or 3 teams or 4 teams or 5 teams. Now you come and implement that same strategy on A2, B3, and so on and so forth, like that. And then after completing that, apply the same strategy on the next line. Now, as you are doing that, guess what is happening? All the money is coming to you. And remember, even you belong to another team higher, all right, where your sponsor also is assisting you to move to the next level at a fraction of the cost. So you realize this particular strategy is helping everyone within the team. All right. And again, if you cannot understand what we have what I've taken you through right there, please come to Kileleshwa. We will be doing a lot of this training from the next few days and so on, especially during this week. Now, let me come to the special announcement that we want to make today. And that is what we've been talking about. And this is gonna change our business completely. All right. Now, we are going to run a promotion and rewards as a period for the next 2 weeks. If you are excited about what I want to share, again, type in 3333 on the chat. All right. This is amazing. We are going to give out awards. All right. Nyambura Maina, thank you very much. Thomas Sinclair, Florence Wanyonyi, Jambi, Margaret, Felicitas, Elizabeth. Go ahead, go on. I want to see 34 333s on this particular session. Now, this is what we have kept for the last few days, as the leaders have been talking about this, and they realized that in Forsage, we make all the money. In Forsage, we are the company. In most of these other companies, return on investment programs or multi-level marketing programs or whatever other programs are out here, the companies normally run a promotion and give people either a car award or give people a trip to China or give people whatever it is. Guess what? We are the company, and we can actually reward ourselves for achievements that we make. And you are in this fast and furious team. And we are going to run those promotions beginning. The first promotion that we are going to run is going to run from tonight all the way to for the next 2 weeks. So what I need to mention now is how is this promotion going to run, all right? So First of all, the promotion will run for exactly 2 weeks. All right, starting tonight from the 13th of June all the way to the 27th of June. That is when we are running this promotion. Now, there will be 2 categories of people, all right, that we are going to reward in those 2 different categories. So we have category A and category B. And I want you to listen carefully because after this, you will need to, of course, we will share the information in the groups and so on, but you need to pay attention who are in category A and who are in category B. Now, category A is anyone who has slots, anything below, not 6, but 7. Sorry, I think I need to clarify this. All right. All those who are on slot 7 and below, 7. All right. So this kindly, I think I need to correct this. Let me just see whether I can correct this even right now, because this is, I need to correct that. It's supposed to be 7. Okay. All right. So category A and category B. So category A is anybody who is on slot 7 and below on X3. Now, category B are those who are above, who are on slot 7, on 8 and above. So let me clarify it again. Category A is who are at 7 and below. Category B are those who are above, who are at 8 and above, who are at 8 and above. All right. Now, at the end of the promotion period, we are going to take the first 5 people who achieve certain targets within those particular brackets. So we are saying those who are in above, who are at 8 and above, if you move 1 step, either to 9 or to 10 or 11 or 12, each one of those positions, position 12 will have 5 people, the first 5. Position 11 will have 5, and so on, and we will move all the way up to 7. We reward up to 7, 5, 5, 5, 5, up to 7. The first people that will move to those particular levels. Then the terms and conditions again will be made available upon opting in. So you will need to opt in to this particular promotion. All right. Okay. And to opt in, there are 2 ways you can go about it. By the way, you can take a screenshot of this particular page, because there is an email address here that you need to send in your name and your mobile number and your FOSAG ID number and what your level in X3 and X4 is right now. So those are the 3 things that we need. We need your name, we need your FOSAG ID number, and we need your level, your current level in X3 and X4 as at tonight, So that's what you need to do. We also have created a form, all right? Let me see whether I can get that form. Yeah, so we have a form that you can actually fill, a Google form. We will actually put it in the groups where people can actually do that. So also category A will have another additional benefit. Anybody who is in category A and builds a team of not less than 3 wide and that is 3 wide and 3 deep, will also win an award. All right. So those are also what will happen. Thank you very much, Bernard Kiraite. You have posted the forms on the group. So fill in that form right now. All right. Copy that form that is in the chat group right now, and make sure that you are part of the promotion that is gonna run. Okay, what are we gonna win? Laptops, tablets, phones, smartwatches. All right. In fact, I have one right now costing 50,000 Kenya shillings. All right. So cash prizes. All right. So again, the implementation committee, all right, will be able to decide whether we can have a scenario where people can take cash prizes instead of the gifts that are mentioned. But that's something else that the promotion committee, who are in charge of this particular promotion, will actually look at that. Because I know there might be some people who say, instead of giving me an item, you give me the value in money. All right. But I can tell you for free that this particular items are not low grade. We are going for the top-notch items in these particular categories. Even a smartwatch, we will give out the best smartwatch in the industry, as it were, because we make money in this particular space. All right. So you can use the this is the form that you can actually use. So please copy the form that is there on the chat, and that is it. I think I am through. I can now bring in the other leaders to maybe add 1 or 2 things that probably I may have missed or something like that. So Ango Migwi, I think you can take it off from here. At least I think my power is still on on my gadgets. So I think this was good. Thank you so much. So Simon.
Yes, JKK, yes, I'm here. I'm super fired up, super excited because of the promo, the incentive. And what was just going through my mind is that we keep saying that we are building a very large organization. As it were, I want to remind our people that, of course, Rome was not built in a day. The other thing is that if we are in people's business, I want you to take a look at a company like Microsoft, $1 billion company, because most of us, we keep throwing out big names that I want to be a millionaire, I want to be a billionaire. I don't know whether in Kenyan shillings or in dollars. And for you to earn an income of $1 million, that would be an equivalent of 109 million Kenyan shillings. So what is required of you? And of course, number one, the key thing that is required of you is teamwork. There's not a single $1 million company out there, or what we call the 500 Fortune companies, without a following, without a team. And it is called the top 500 because minimum, they have a team of 500 members or teamwork. So if we are going to build, if we are going to win the incentive, can you imagine how small that we've raised the bar? That you need 3 horizontally across and 3 deep. Can you imagine if you multiply the metrics? That is a team of 9 people. A team of 9 people. So if we are talking about a company like Apple, you can imagine the workforce that they have. Let's come close home. Let's look at a company like Safaricom. because that is a blue chip company. Can you imagine the workforce they have, the think tank, the people behind the growth of that billion Kenya shilling company, because they do a turnover of like last year. And right now they're just about to release their numbers. Last year it was 60 billion Kenya shillings. You can imagine, look at their workforce. How many people do they have? And I'm mentioning this because we have people in our organizations that they want, of course, to earn or build for such business, but they are not willing to go out there and talk to a few people. And I have a scenario where people come to me and they tell me, Simon, I cannot refer to anybody because I've not earned. And probably the question that sometimes is, I'm not able to bring it out, but because here I'm not addressing to any individual, let me mention it. And the only question that comes to my mind is, how are you going to be paid without referring anybody? You have to refer that person who is waiting for you to go show them that you've earned. You tell them, you come on board, and then you'll see me get paid. And let me say, because let me put this out there clearly, because we are all members here, that you must understand that our model of business is crowdfunding. Kwa Kiswahili ni inaitwa harambe. And I don't know what we fear about Harambee and Harambee. And it is courtesy of Harambee that you see the schools, the Harambee schools. It's because the courtesy of Harambee that you see the churches that I'm coming out clearly for the people who ask, what is it that we are selling? What is the product other than education? Because the education is secondary. What is the main business of Forsage? Is crowdfunding. And you need, if you're not comfortable with that, then probably this is not for you. But what makes it sold out is because you've given money out there. You've given money for somebody who is unwell. You've given money out for bereavement. You've given money out for your local church. You've given money out for a needy student who is going abroad for further studies. And this money, you never expect it back. But when we come together and we say we can do the same and change our bottom line, how difficult is that, our people? So, and number two, let me flip the coin on the other side for the people who don't like Harambes. We all belong to a chama. We started with Faulu, we went to Cadet, we went to, long before we started with cooperative movement. In the villages, cooperative movements, they started in the villages. From the cooperative movements, they formed the largest organization in terms of a bank, cooperative bank. And then we started forming societies. From societies, then we formed one of the largest societies in terms of bank called Equity. From there, Akina Faulu came, Akina Cadet came, and so many other forums, they came. But to bring it closer home, we all belong to a chama, whether a chama, a merry-go-round here and there, but, and especially our mothers and our wives, all of you, every week, once in a week, when I come home, I find some women. And what are they doing? Most of the time, I find them contributing money. And they give this money to one of them. That is exactly Forsage. They contribute money and they give this money, they cast lots, and they give this money to one of them. That is purely Forsage, but it's not smart. Because when they give that money, the money can be lost. One of the members can decide not to pay. But let me come to the nitty-gritty. Let me come to the fundamentals of how the chama work. That if you want to be a member, you must be vetted. Somebody in the group must know you. So in FOSAJ, if you want to participate in FOSAJ, somebody must know you. Somebody must reach out to you. You must trust these people. Then number two, you must respect them, because respect earns you money. So if you fail on the two, then it means you don't want to be part of this. So if the person you are bringing on your local chama, you don't trust them, you cancel them out. If you don't respect them, you know they will not respect the chama, they will not pay. So, and we are saying ideally now FOSAJ, what it has done, it has eliminated all those items. You don't need to vet these people. You don't, the system, which is decentralized, does all that for you. The system, which is transparent, does all that for you. The system, which can be trusted, does all that for you. So we are saying that this is a chama like the chamas that you have, but on steroids. That this chama now, the other ordinary chamas, whether equity, whether cooperative, whether the local one that we do in our homes, when we give out money, we are expected to pay. The genius behind FOSAJ is that you owe nobody. That is why it is smart. You owe nobody. You don't owe anybody. You don't have to pay anything after that. So where is the work? The work is to bring the community. You must, the work is to open your talk. And it is hard work. Let me tell you, is the most, you think talking is easy. People here talk about other things, but when it comes to talking about what is going to pay them, they are shy. Why? Because it is hard work. If it were easy, everybody would be a millionaire right now. Like we keep saying, if wishes were horses, even the beggars would be riding. So it is hard work. I will not sit here and tell you how simple it is. People are looking at JKK's account and they are wondering, oh my goodness, what happened? How did you earn 3 million? What they don't see is the amount of hours that he has put behind the 3 million, behind the shadows, behind what you do not see. How many of us have been on the Zooms? Number one, listening, like religiously, like every day, exactly at 8 p.m., before the presenter comes on, you are there. That is question number one. Question number two, how many of you have been presenting on the Zoom? Now you say, now it's me, I'm so fired up, my tail is on fire, I'm igniting every bush in this town. How many of us? Number three, when we say we have members training, how many of us are willing to go out of their way? Number one, give a testimony of what is happening, give testimony of the person they've just signed up, give a testimony of rejection, how they've been rejected. I've talked to 10 people, not even a single one, because there is a law, the law of average. Out of 10 people, you'll get one. So if you're here and you don't even have a member following you, how many people have you talked to? So you know, now you know that there's an average, is a law, is a principle. It's like the law of gravity. Anything that goes up has to come down. So if you know you talk to 10 people, it's a principle, you'll get one. If you talk to 100 people, then you get 10. That is why we are saying it's normal for human beings to talk to 250 people. Out of 250 people, guess what? You get a minimum 25 people. How do I know that everybody knows minimum 250 people? All you need to do is go to funerals. See the number that has turned up. Minimum 200 people, 250 people. Go to a wedding, look at the numbers. How many, even in weddings, people have to be restricted by cards, but minimum you'll see 300 people. So all we are saying, talk to these people. Talk to these people, and you will build a blue chip company, a company that is 500 people and above. And let me tell you, because we said, let me remind you guys, we said that we'll make this money until tomorrow. That is a statement of a profound meaning. I want you to go to your back offices, and when you sign in, you log in, you will realize that out of the community of Forsage, which is 1.1 million, we've not even done 5%. We just hit the 50,000 mark. So if we have a community of 1.1 million, it means that is 4.5%. We've not done even 5%. So we've not even scratched the scratch of the service. The program has just been running for under 2 weeks. And what I'm hearing from some quarters is I've not seen money. I've not seen money. But I'm telling you now that you're on this call that we've not scratched the scratch of the surface. Can you imagine the time whereby we'll have 100,000 people, 200,000, 500,000 people? So what are we gonna do? Because we don't know when, but we know why we want these people to come on board. We don't know when they are going to come, but we know why we need them to be on board. Why do we need them to be on board? Because we want to be paid. That is the number one priority. Our objective number one is not to help a lot of people, it's to make profit. Because when we make profit, we'll be able to help a lot of people, because you cannot give what you do not have. So people, you hear people say, oh, I want to help a lot of people. With what? Help you first, then you'll be able to help somebody else, because you cannot give what you do not have. If you want to give money, you must overflow with money for you to help somebody. So how are we going to help ourselves? That is why we are coming with this incentive, because we want to make the Forsage community lit with activities. We want to sign people, right, left, center, everywhere. Everybody is signing. Guess what? We have from JKK going down, we have a community of 200 people. If everybody goes out there and bring one person, do you know anybody who is here, they double their income? If your back office is reading a big zero, guess what? If you bring one person, you get 50% of your money. If the person you bring, they bring one person, guess what happens? You get the other 50% of your money. You broken even. That is why we say the risk here is one person. If you cannot find one person, then I can tell you for sure you are doomed. Like they say, you lost your money, but you haven't lost your money, because somehow, as the other community comes, of course, you'll be paid on X4, but you have to be patient. If you don't want to talk to anybody, you must exercise patience. Let me tell you, let me remind you what you know, that patience is a virtue. It doesn't come easy, because all of us, we've been in employment, we've done everything. Let me ask you, and this is a statement of meaning, that the basis of my life, of your life, is freedom. The purpose of why you are here is joy. But the result of your life, of my life, is expansion. So let's go back, let's rewind. If the basis, if the foundation of my life is freedom, so $1 million question is, am I free? If I decide tomorrow, I'm not this question about. Question number 2, am I that can give you what we call financial freedom? There are so many other freedoms out there. Spiritual freedom, intellectual freedom, health freedom, all these things are freedom, relationship freedom. Are you free? But here tonight, we are talking about financial freedom. So the basis of life is to live a life of harmony, what we call harmonic wealth. Out of that wheel of harmonic wealth, we find financial freedom. I'm not yet there. But through Forsage, I'll tell you, watch this space. I will build this organization all the way to the top. It's either you build with me or you watch me build. So at the end of the day, it's only 2 things. I'm so glad I joined Simon to build this. All I wish